Hey guys, it's Alicia Rain. I am hosting this episode 159 of the workshop tonight, and we have Abby Falvo, one of our comedians, and she is from Winnipeg. Yep, okay, good. And then also with me, we have Carol Freeman, and she out of Seattle, but now currently is in Arizona. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Phoenix. Yes.
Phoenix. Okay, good. So, yep. So, basically, the first round is everybody gets a topic, and we do about 3 to 4 minutes on the topic that we received, and then everybody will do some feedback. Any tags, any just kind of general notes. I will go ahead and do that round first. And then the second round will actually be our own material. And again, 3 to 4 minutes on that. And then we'll do kind of our response again, tags, notes. And then at the beginning of our own sets, maybe if you have a specific thing you're looking for, like this particular thing, is there a different setup I could use? Just let us know at the ahead of time, and we'll go ahead and do that. And then we also get notes from Facebook, and so right now I've got 2 comments. We've got 2 whole views. One of them, Facebook user Carol, smiley heart face. So that's good. And then I'm going to assume it's the same person. I mean, hi. So, so we got
better
2
say
views.
who they are.
Yep, I think there's a way to, like, through StreamYard, you give them permission to use your name, something like that. So I know that's instructions in the live feed. There's instructions on how to put your name in. So look for those, but we welcome your comments. And this is kind of a safe space, not kind of, it is a safe space. So, whatever material, as long as you're not a jerk, we're happy to listen to it and give feedback. All right, Ryan Fennell.
You said it right.
Yeah.
You said it right. Wow.
All right. Carol said that, you'd kind of get in here, and here you are.
Carol says.
Look at that COVID hair, Ryan. I haven't seen Ryan in a while. So.
Yeah, so those 2 came from the same city. Are you still out of Seattle, Ryan?
Yes.
Still in Seattle. Okay. So you know how this works?
Yes, I've done one before.
Okay, so we've already we got a couple of users. One of them is Carol Freeman saying hi, Mike. And then all right, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go first, I guess, and mine was reliance. So you're kind of reliant on something to get something. And so for me in college, I was reliant on passing my French 2-year exam to graduate. And by that time, I was really kind of done. Like, I had a college senioritis moment going on where that semester I went to each class a total of 7 times. And some of those classes met 3 times a week. And I still did the work, but I just couldn't be bothered to show up. And but I still got like B-, B. And so I was doing like the bare minimum. And the French class, I took it during the summer, and I do remember the only thing I remember from French class from those 2 years is that the plural form of animal is animaux. Fun fact, just in case you guys wanted to know. And then I remember reading this little 4th grade level reader, and it was about these kids at recess, and one of the kids, they kept on mentioning the word the French word for fat. So one of the little kids is a little fat kid, and he was like eating a whole jar of jam like in front of everybody. So that's what they kind of had over there. It's like kind of like the Judy Blume, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret," French version, eating a whole jar of jam on the recess. So that's kind of what that was going on. Yeah, my reading comprehension in French was actually pretty decent. It might even be better than my reading comprehension in English. My ability to follow directions isn't that great, but that's another story. Anyway, I took the test, like the final test, and I failed it by 2 points. And I was just like, oh my God, I need to get this going. So I just took it right away again. And then I failed it by 1 point. And I was like, so close, like D minus F plus kind of scenario. And so I had to go to somebody to be like, to sign off saying, yes, all right, we'll give her the degree. And so the point of this story is D's get degrees. So yeah, guys, that's my reliance on passing a test to graduate. I graduated on a technicality. So yeah, guys, that's me. Little storytelling. That's not the kind of comedy I do that much. So any feedback is welcome. Anything to improve on that? Oh yeah, any notes?
I had a note about so you're talking about the kid, the fat kid. I found myself wondering well, what's the French word for fat? Because you mentioned what was was in French, but then I never heard the French word for fat. I was like, oh, what is that going to be? Is there some play on words that relate to that, or some twist that
That's good. Yeah.
Is it foie? Is that fat? Foie gras, or gras? No, gras is fat, right?
Is that what that is?
Well, foie gras is fat liver. I don't know which word is what, but
no, I think that's
Mardi Gras. So I think gras is fat, actually. So
okay.
Make some kind of play with gras on the kid. I don't know what that would be, but
okay.
Wait. So can you go through the last part again? What, you said the D, you got a D in the class and that caused?
I got a C in the class, but I had to pass the final 2-year language requirement test to pass to get my degree. And I failed it by 1 point, or I failed it by 2 points, and then I failed it again by 1 point.
Okay.
And so then I had to go get somebody to sign off on it. So.
Sorry.
Well, and what if at the end where you say I know you're waiting for me to tell you what the word in French is for fat, but I told you I failed, so I don't even know what that is.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I wonder if you could think of other things that would potentially have gotten you that extra mark. The end of the story was basically you got signed off on, but I'm wondering if I just had to say "je suis stupide," and they were like, "Yeah, points." Something like that to kind of bring it up. Find that sort of little above reality to kind of make it a bit more pop at the end.
Okay. Je ne sais pas.
Oh yeah. We.
Okay.
Très bien.
Abby, is that,
Très bien.
Abby, is that also playing into the stereotype that like French people think Americans are stupid, and so that's all it took to pass the test was to just like admit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the whole story is basically like how humility was like. I just passed by being willing to just throw myself under the bus, kind of thing.
Mhm. Yep, that was that.
Just feed their ego.
Yep. There's a lot of pot smoking during that period of time. So, great feedback, guys. I appreciate it.
If you played on the like, I was trying to smoke weed through the period, but it turns out I should have been smoking Camels, or I don't know what the like a specific brand of cigarettes that would be French, or
maybe bring that into it. My smoking habits.
You just have to show them your hairy armpit.
Guys, I appreciate it.
you played on the like, I was trying to smoke weed through the period, but it turns out I should have been smoking Camels, or I don't know what the
that
like
might be
that would be French, or
maybe bring that into it.
Is that Ryan? It's got to be Ryan.
Is that Ryan's what?
That might have been habits.
You just have to show them your hairy armpit.
Somebody has the Facebook page running.
I was trying to smoke weed through the period, but it turns out I should have been smoking Camels, or I don't know what
see here.
that would be French.
Ooh, wait, hold on. What's that mean?
Does somebody have the Facebook?
I did. That was me. My bad.
Okay.
I was lost. I'm like, wait, what is going on here? I'm hearing a lot. Sorry.
Just from now on, everything that doesn't work right, it's Ryan's fault. We'll just
That she is right about. I'll give her that. She was wrong about
I'll
everything
take
else.
the blame. All right. Well, now that we figured that out, now that we had like this inception moment, we're going to come back to it. I just went. Thank you so much, guys, for that response. And now we're going to head on to my right in my screen, and that's Abby Falvo going to give us her topic.
Okay, so when I was told my topic was going to be screaming Italians, I was like, oh, I'm just going to talk about my family at Christmas time. But then I was corrected, and it's actually opera. So I'm going to be talking about opera, and I don't really have a lot of experience with opera because I wasn't in the upper crust. So like I didn't like go to Zellers. Do you guys have Zellers down there? Or no one does anymore. I couldn't go into Target and be like, oh, do you have a copy of Kids Bopera? Like how would I figure out what opera was? And even growing up, like I got into punk music, and you know, when I don't know how like you would start to get into opera. Like there's no garage opera band. Like you're not all of a sudden going to be like, hey, Steve, don't you play can't you sing really loud? Oh yeah, and hey, Jan has a tuba, and hey, you have a timpani. Oh yeah, and don't you have a glockenspiel, Jan? Sorry, also Jan. Sandra, don't you have like a xylophone? Yeah, and what about you? You have a violin. Hey, and you have a garage. Awesome, we have an opera, guys. Like, where does that go with anything? And you know, looking at an opera, one of the things that they have is that's where the saying "it's not over until the fat lady sings" comes from. And I don't really think like I don't know, like I don't want to get into like fat shaming or anything, but if you want to lose weight, it should be for good reasons. Like Adele lost all that weight because of that saying. Because every time she'd start her concert, everyone would leave. I know, what the heck? Gosh, what else? My father wrote this one. You could talk about Oprah Winfrey. That's what I got from him. I guess the thing is, I'm kind of jealous about opera. If you ever go to like the opera, they usually have signs up that say, you know, don't leave while the show's on. Don't yell or anything. And as a comedian, I'm jealous of that because I just keep thinking like, oh my God, like maybe I should get into opera and then, because no one's gonna like get drunk and heckle from the audience in Italian and be like, "Sontere," which means Gesundheit, which means God bless you, which doesn't really have any relevance. And yeah, I think that was like 18 minutes burned down in 30 seconds of opera. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Very good. All right. I like the punk rock band opera. My internet crapped out for a second. So did you say garage opera at all? Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of
You did say that. Yeah, I like puns. So any more puns with the opera, and then maybe something with like the Grand Ole Opry being more operatic, something like that.
See where you're going with that.
Yeah. Anybody else? Carol, do you have any feedback?
Yeah, I was thinking as you were talking about, because you tied this into your Italian family, and then you talked about like the phrase about how when the fat lady sings, and I was thinking, I don't know about your family, but my Aunt Joanne was a horrible singer. Don't know where that fits with your values or your brand or anything like that. I don't have anything specific about this, but I was thinking about opera glasses. I don't know, so that's had me thinking about that whole other sub concept there. But anyways, and then you started to talk about drunken heckling, and I just had this image of like somebody up on the high balconies, like just like falling over, like heckling an opera or something. So
show us your tits.
Yeah.
I guess mainly I'm thinking like the like how you were talking about the signage for like how they're saying like to telling everybody to be quiet. Like it's like you can kind of play on how they're protecting the opera singers because they're all so damn big. Like they don't like how comedians are like might have to get fight might have to take off fighting or something like that. Like opera singers like you don't want those big motherfuckers coming off the stage or anything. So it's like more for their protection, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Also, opera audiences can read.
There we go.
If I really want to like zing my audience,
I can see them in their corsets too, and then they're just like shit's going down, ripping the corset off, like go on now.
Yeah. They're already wearing helmets.
Some kind of a brawl on the opera stage, and the balcony people are falling down.
I guess another play with the fat lady singing, thing, like how like Adele lost a bunch of weight, like how she wouldn't make a good opera singer anymore, like because like they're all bigger, I guess. You don't usually see skinny opera singers.
No.
I guess I'm trying not to generalize them, but I don't remember seeing any skinny ones.
No, I don't know. I don't know where you would even go to see an opera.
Well, I would say also you could sing opera like you want to go, and you could sing that in opera, or come at me in opera, or some sort of you want to take this outside, but in like an opera voice kind of thing. And then also you could mention like specific operas like M. Butterfly or stuff like that.
Sorry, that was actually one joke that I had was that like M. Butterfly, as an example, is over like so many years old, and they've been doing it, and they do it every year at the whatever, and yet everyone says Hollywood has no new ideas. Right? Like we get mad because they're just like remaking The Craft, and meanwhile they get away with just being like, I don't know, let's do M. Butterfly again. That sounds great. Season tickets.
Yeah.
Is there something there about like because you started talking about the garage band and like
Mhm.
the '90s missed out on grunge opera? I don't know.
Yes.
That's
Grunge.
something that's never been done.
Mhm.
Feels like Teen Spirit in I don't know what the iconic opera.
Oh, Bullet with them butterfly wings.
There you go. That's good. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's fun.
Right, thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason I was thinking like Coco Rosie, stuff like that, where because like one of the members of that band is an opera singer, so there is, what if to play on that, like, the opera as a garage band, what kind of new band could also add an opera singer?
Well, you know
So.
what? We need a new Evanescence. I think is really what
Mhm.
the closest thing would be.
Some tie in there, right? Because there's going to be a different like, thinking of musicals, and then you need to like say like the difference between opera and a musical is.
Mhm.
I think Evanescence is the punchline of that somehow.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, trying to work that where you're going, Carol. Okay.
All right. Well, I think there's some really good feedback. I think there's definitely some potential for some really good jokes there. So, Abby, thanks so much. We're going to move on down to my caddy corner, and that's Carol Freeman. And then you had, what was it again? What was your topic again?
Well, when I heard my topic was shells, I thought of things that you're going to find at the beach, mermaid bikini tops, or craft products that I grew up too poor to afford. And for our Canadian crowd, which we have some tonight, shells is the craft dinners version of the bougie version of that. Oh, that's wording is bad. There is a fun fact. The shell-shaped pasta is called orecchiette in Italian. And so not only was my family too poor to afford them, they were just too stupido to care. Kraft's head of product development was like, we need to come up with a new product. What's a pasta shape that will get Americans to eat more of an orange cheese-like sauce? Orecchiette? No. What's it look like? Well, literal translation is little ears. Gross. What's the word closer to shoveling it into your mouth? How about shells? Perfect. It will remind them of mermaid bikinis. Now, speaking of ears, I learned some hard lessons meeting guys on dating apps. For example, I learned that I prefer a man with 2 ears. I did learn this the hard way. All of his Bumble photos were of his good side. By good side, I mean the one with the ear. Now, this guy didn't have little ears. He actually had like 1 ear. And I mean, although I prefer a guy with 2 ears, I will date a guy with 1 ear if it's a cauliflower ear. Because that's keto. Get that shit in ranch. I'm going to eat it right off. All right. That's the end of my brevite, whatever. I'm making up Italian. I don't know much of it.
Just keep going. You're getting better at it as you work on it.
My son is actually 1/8 Italian. Not from my side, but. All right.
I wrote a couple notes. I like the whole like How do we get people to eat? People don't like our elbows anymore. What are we going to do to
the
make
elbows,
them
yeah.
eat? What are we going to do to make them eat? And sort of that. So like the whole shoveling thing was really funny. Like what sounds like shoveling it in, because that's what you do. I like trying to think of like exotic. Like, well, you know what? What are they never going to have? Vacation. So and the whole dating thing with guys. You know, you kind of tied into it with the ears. But you could have also been like, all you're doing is just sifting through the shells of human beings. But also, okay, so the guy, I don't know if you did this because I was looking away to write, but if you were like, he only had pictures of his good side, like you could actually like look away, that could be a good thing. And I don't know what your experience is, but most guys only listen half the time. So this is just going to be so much worse. And yeah, other than that, it's funny. It's good.
No.
Yeah, Ryan, do you have anything?
I was where I was going was with like along the lines of the dating and ear thing. It's like what is like when you pick up the shells, like when you pick up the shells on the beach. Like I guess like can you like what is it like? Is he a loser? You know what I'm saying? Like is he a loser or something? Am I like I guess asking the shell about the guy you're dating and that like wanting information from the shell. Does that make sense?
And if you can hear the ocean, he is.
Yeah, something weird.
We were so poor, we had to listen to the ocean in our shell macaroni.
Yeah, but that's like you're not going to hear anything. Like you know, technically not really going to hear anything anyway. Like they're all going to end up losers.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nope, still no ocean.
Yeah. And I get and what was sorry, my dog is trying to kill himself. What was it? Little. I guess little. I wrote a note for Little Mermaid. Something along those lines of like looking for your kind of prince. You know, I guess still going on the dating lines. I guess something in there. I don't know. I'm still building it in my mind. But that was just the note I caught. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. So I had one more thing with trying to get people to eat the shell macaroni. It's like, well, who doesn't want to eat out a mermaid?
Well, I was also thinking like the seashell bra, like maybe there's different types of seashells for different sizes. So like a conch shell would be like a double D, and then like a little, tiny shell or whatever would be a
baby clam or something, like via A or something like that, A cup or something like that. Just enough to cover people.
Yeah.
The elbows is just embarrassment. Oh.
Yeah, when it's too small, they don't need anything, just their elbows. And then, going back to the craft shells and cheese, you can have like craft sand dollars and ragu, or craft starfish and stroganoff, or other things like that. I think the elbows to shells is super funny. And then also, I don't know about anybody else, but I have been in so many bathrooms where it's like a seaside theme and there's like shells and beach scene.
It's hard to point out.
Right. Yeah.
Every restaurant in Seattle.
Right. As decoration, stuff like that. I think there's some stuff there. I feel like you personally have some personal connection with that. So I think, there's definitely some stuff there. Like hearing the ocean is actually the toilet flushing, stuff like that. Yeah. All right. Well, I think some good stuff there. I like everyone kind of riffing off each other. That's fun. But right now we're gonna go to Ryan and my screen Ryan Fennell, yes.
Yeah, and you say my last name right. I love it. All right, my turn.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, my word is tear or tear, either or.
Hmm.
Yeah, the homophone. And I guess right off top, homophones. It just rings in my head up how much they irritate the hell out of me because the U.S. language is probably the only one that has them. And we'll go from tear. We'll go to tears, and I'll tell you about one of my alter egos, Crying Ryan. I had to put him on the shelf because once I drink too much, once I was good into Johnny Walker, and once I drank too much of that shit, Johnny started to talk to me and say, "Hey, it's a good idea to cry." And I'd whisper that back to Johnny that we were in the middle of the club, and Johnny would say, "Hey, fuck it, do it anyway." So I had to go ahead and shelve Crying Ryan, and now I'll go into tears that cause tears. Mhm.
Oh boy.
Again, kid.
Stop, Carol, please.
Sorry.
Damn. So, I mean, you have something very simple, like playing sports, tearing a muscle. Like I don't see too many people cry off that, but that could potentially cause tears, right? Then I'll go to another tear that is going to cause some tears. I think about my mom back in the day. If I done something and she calls me and tells me she's going to tear my ass up, it doesn't cause tears at the time of being told, but when she tears my ass up, I get she gets the tear, she gets the desired effect. And then here we go. The last tear I'm going to talk about, damn, is me tearing up the pussy. Damn it, Carol. This isn't an instantaneous crying effect. This doesn't, you don't get tears right off the bat, but your boy got some good meat on him. So once they find out they're not going to get it again, there's the tears. All right, that's me. I'm done. I can't go anymore.
All right. If you guys want to give some feedback.
So
Very
you
good.
I'm going to jump right in because you got the progression, right? Like you might as well just continue. The next stage of this is your baby mama, the pussy getting teared up because she's having your baby. So you missed that.
Okay. And then she tearing up my damn life. Causing a lot of tears.
Comes full circle, and the kids are tearing up your life, right?
And
Causing
that's
tears, yeah.
I like that.
What about like, a bad meal that you had that was tearing up your ass? So like from your mama tearing up tearing up your ass. Like then I went out and had the best tacos of my life. Turns out they tear up my ass too.
Okay. I like that. Progressions. I like that.
Maybe it's like things can be good or bad that tear up your ass. Like you think they're good and it turns out they're bad. And then some things that are bad turn out that they're good. I don't know.
I like the progression, the formula. That was really good. Going from tear to tears.
Thank you.
I don't really have much I can add.
That's fine. That I don't mind. There wasn't. Like I said, I just go for it.
I was gonna say, like the progression, like you can get torn up, which would eventually cause you to tear up. So.
No, but that's because it works in many forms of like, oh, I'm getting toe up, But then once you once you wake up in jail, like that causes you then there's the tear up.
Yeah.
I like it.
And maybe throwing in a turned up. You need,
or maybe somebody else tears you up in jail.
Tearing up the dance floor. And then people see me dance, and then it's like tears.
Yeah.
make the whole thing of like, my mama tore up my ass and had me teared up. And then the ladies saw how sensitive I was when I was tearing up, and then helped me tear up the pussy. And then oh, that ended up having her pussy torn up because the baby came out. And then like on the dance floor, yeah.
No. I like that. No, you definitely built the hell out of that. I like it. Okay.
Not my brand, but it's totally you. This is hard when it's backwards. Like I gotta. Oh, there we go. I gotta point.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you ain't even getting me. Keep going that way.
We got kind of a very Brady Bunch situation going on here, right? Yeah, all right. Sounds like we kind of covered everybody. Now I like to switch it up with our own material. I like to do kind of like a full screen thing. So I'm going to go ahead and just switch that up. If that's all right. Yeah, guys, I was going through my phone and there were a bunch of apps that I forgot that I had downloaded. And one of them was Tinder. I completely forgot about it. And then I looked at my profile and it said, I like a good spicy mustard. And it's true. I make an excellent lunch date. And that's about it. Yeah. Let's see. A lot of people have been, talking about like generations, like somebody, I'm Gen X and my friend is also Gen X, referred to Gen X himself as a Zennial. And that makes me so angry because I didn't go to college, not go to class, rack up a bunch of debt just to be called a name similar to the one that came after me. So that needs a lot of work, but I think you can see where I'm going. Yeah, I've been thinking about going on a diet for about 15 years. And I'm still narrowing it down. The last time I went on a diet was it's a Slim Fast diet. And for most people, it was 1 or 2 shakes and then a sensible meal. And for me, I was like, the more shakes, the merrier. Get over here. And that's when it was original recipe Slim Fast. So it tasted like the only ingredients were Nutella and sidewalk chalk. So delicious. Yeah, the diets that are out now, they're just too intense for me. Like the keto diet. Keno, thank you. That diet is so strict that they are jealous of vegans. And who's jealous of a vegan? I'm not. I'm going to eat meat. But the second, another one that I feel like is too intense that I just can't do is bulimia. Yeah, more like fulimia, am I right? Because I can only do the first half of that diet. Yeah. The second half takes some self-discipline. It takes a lot of dedication, and I just can't do it because I can't even dedicate a song. So but the one that I find more intriguing is the fasting diet, and some people would call that anorexia, and for me, Jesus is involved, and so that is divine. And that was his intention the entire time. You know what? He just went to his friend and was like, do I look fat in these robes? And he was like, you know what? I need to get to my pre-baptism figure. So he went to the desert, starved himself until he hallucinated, came back a whole new man. Who would have thought Lord and Savior and diet guru? Yeah, he was the Richard Simmons of Bethlehem. But it worked. When he died, he looked fit. He didn't just look fit. He looked CrossFit. So, yeah. Let's see. Anything else? I don't have a whole lot else right now. That's kind of it for me. So, yeah. All right. Thanks, you guys. Any feedback? That's good.
You got something?
I wrote a couple things.
Okay.
Just with the whole generational thing, I don't. This is not the same joke, but I just think every generation is based should be called whatever you think Puff Daddy's name was. I'm Generation Puff Daddy. After me is P Diddy, then Sean Puffy Combs, so on and so forth. That don't use that. You can do better. You were talking about the Slim Fast shakes. I don't know if I just find it interesting. It's the diet is you should drink some milkshakes. It's I wasn't drinking them before. It's now you should only. The premise I'm getting at is it being okay, you should have only one milkshake, and it's yeah, but I wasn't. This is a better diet. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how did I get this way when I've been avoiding milkshakes? I was wrong. I like the points about what it's made of and the sidewalk chalk and stuff like that. That's always good. You can get that. That's creative. Good. If you even want to describe what drinking one of them likes, it tastes like skinny. I don't know. And the keto diet, when you're comparing it to veganism, the angle that you could take with that is just be why would you want to diet with more rules than being a vegan? And you could get into that. And I don't know how. I'm just kind of talking out of my ass now, but just the whole idea of it's more rules than Dungeons and Dragons. I know, I'm really cool, you guys. It's just along those lines. Actually, you can really boil it down to what the rules are. Something in that. Oh, goodbye. Take your daughter to work day. Yeah. So it's good.
I like the P Diddy stuff. You could also say what Look Share is doing at the time generationally. Something similar like that. So I think that's good.
Oh yeah. And whatever generation the last one is, just wouldn't know who he is. And that's the punch.
I piggyback on the generations thing. So you said dedicate a song, and so then you need to well, that's the millennial equivalent of, for those of you that don't know, radio, I don't know what that would be, putting together a playlist on Spotify. I don't know what it is, and then for the boomers, that's, I don't know, writing a letter in a quill and sending it on a buggy to your.
Yeah.
And I love the whole Jesus's diet thing is so fun. And I tried to follow the Jesus diet. That's where I just drink a bunch of wine and hope I end up really hydrated.
I like that. Another Jesus diet or something. Continue on his guru quest.
I did it backwards though, because it turns out it's water into wine. Oops.
All right. Let's see. Just from the comments here. Let's see. I don't know what this joke is referencing. Ryan Fennell looks like store brand John Washington. I don't know what that means.
Like people will come in these things just to come for me, man. Like,
Yeah.
I bring out the best in people when I'm in these things.
And then Casey, you're just mad my beard is killing yours. Random Facebook stuff. And that bit always kills me, so I'm assuming that's for what I was saying. And then just got here, came for the punch-up work, stayed for the kitty cat. So some cat love in the Facebook chat. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for that feedback. I wish I had a good set list, but we're just going to go ahead and move on to Abby Falvo. She's got some good stuff. Abby, let's hear it.
Okay. I'm glad you guys brought up Tinder. The thing about, okay, a few things about Tinder. First of all, it does not listen to my settings at all, because I'm 38, and it's like, oh, people like, you know, between 30 and say 45 and something like that, and you know, within 10 kilometers of me at least, and it's always like, oh, would you like this person? They're 21 and from the moon, and it drives me nuts. And I think one of the worst things that most women will complain about with Tinder is just the number of guys with fish pics, and I get it. Guys just don't have a lot of pictures of themselves that look where they look good. It's always like, well, I don't know. I got a picture of me lighting my farts on fire at Tyler's wedding, and I've got a picture of me as a baby, and I don't want her to know that I was a baby. Right? So, of course, they have to just take the fish pics. And fishing's not that impressive to me. It's just like, oh, look, I put something sharp in your favorite food. I tricked you. Haha, I got you. Meanwhile, like, I could put little shrapnel pieces in macaroni and kill any of them instantly. You also get some spacey people. A lot of people put, I've heard that Myers-Briggs, people will put that on their thing. And I think that Myers-Briggs needs to add a letter that indicates whether or not you can quote The Office or not. So INFJ cannot quote The Office. It's just, I don't know, sorry, it's the thing that bugs me in every profile. It's like, oh, my special talent is I can quote The Office. Yes, but like, you see a lot of astrology too. And I've seen Enneagram, and if you're not familiar, Enneagram is just astrology for people who want to make fun of people who do it's astrology for people who want to make fun of people who do astrology. But the thing about like, I don't really get astrology. Like, my friend was trying to explain it to me. She's like, well, no, because it's the house and the moon and the placement. And I'm like, can you just explain it to me like I'm a Taurus? And she's like, well, Tauruses are actually really smart. And I was like, no, I mean a Ford Taurus. Tell me like I'm a car parked diagonally on my grandpa's lawn with 3 wheels, why me being born at 5 p.m. under the waxing moon is why I can't pee in public. A lot of those, what else? I'm really glad Carol wore makeup today. I wasn't sure if I was going to. I'm not good at makeup. The thing I always like, I'm terrible at it. So I just kind of treat my makeup the way we do the environment. I just keep fucking it up and hoping I can fix it in the end. And the last thing I'll leave you with is, it's okay. I'm working on this, and it's a bit of a local joke, but I'll try and get through it. Just basically, there's this radio DJ who was canceled for saying egregious things on the air, and then 2 years later, he was hired up at another station, and now there's banners everywhere, like he's back and celebrating. So the joke is basically, I want to talk about a very important thing. It's called cancel culture. If you're not familiar, it's the fact that I keep planning brunch, and my friends keep canceling at the last second. And it's like, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I was up late last night. Yeah, so was I, looking up YouTube videos on how to make a frittata with 1 egg and mayonnaise. Sorry. and a handful of mayonnaise because I didn't go shopping. And I get it. Like sometimes, like that's just not a good excuse. If you want to cancel brunch, that's fine. Come up with a good excuse. And this is where I need the help because my examples are bad. If you are part of a plot to kill the president, then yes, of course, we have to cancel brunch. If you are on fire, then yes, of course, we have to cancel brunch. And if you are saying racist and transphobic things on the airwaves, then yes, we have to cancel Dave Wheeler. That's the name of the DJ. So it's a turn because it's, cancel culture. But the thing is, the examples that lead up to that aren't funny. Anyways, that's all. Thank you.
All right. I think there's some good stuff.
Serious.
Sorry, what's that?
I said that the last part is it was like three serious things.
Well, the first two aren't. The first two are like, these are good reasons to cancel brunch. And then the third thing is a good reason. Well, it's basically me saying it's like canceling Dave Wheeler is a good thing. And we should do it because if you have a good excuse, then canceling is good. So it's throwing them off the scent of the whole, this joke is about cancel culture, and then bringing it back.
Yeah.
What were the two things though? It was like if you're on fire, of course you should cancel. If you're
part of a
and the other thing was part of a government plot, and that's the thing. All of them really aren't. They're pretty severe, but they're not enough to get more than just a mediocre chuckle. So
I don't know if this fits into that 3-part thing or not, but I had like, you're hungover. No, that's why we brunch. Like,
I like that. Actually, I really like that.
Well, I like because that kind of misleads us as well.
Because that fits. You had another line about how like they were hungover and that's why they're canceling. So no, that's the whole reason for brunch. Bloody Marys. The only reason they invented those is for hangovers.
You think I bought this orange juice for my scurvy? We're getting some sparkling wine in it.
Yeah.
Like the champagne is the hair of the dog or whatever.
Yeah.
I was thinking one of the things it could be like you joined a cult led by Jared Leto, because that is a true thing. Of course we need to cancel.
Yeah. We're not friends.
Yeah, and tell me where do I sign up?
You were talking about your like you started out with talking about makeup too.
Yeah.
And you said something about like I just do it and hope to fix it in the end. And then a tag on that is like because they're gonna do my makeup really well when I die. Like that's probably not the best wording of it, but like just whole like in my coffin I will look amazing. Like
yeah, I thought, who cares how it looks now? It'll be all good and when they put the mannequin paint on.
I have a fat line item in my will for my funeral post-humoral makeup.
No wingtips.
Now, one note I had about the makeup part was like I guess how you're tying it into the environment, like to say like you're fucking up your face until like I guess pimples exploding and like somewhere along those lines is of like how we're fucking up the environment. Like we got what am I trying to say? Volcanoes about to explode and shit. Just tie that.
Or, you don't protect or use sunscreen, so it's baking over here and then it's shaking over here or whatever, like a California reference or
like topographical. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, that's where. Yeah.
Is
that global warming? No, it's just hot in here.
It's just my makeup melting. Like
it's airing. Yeah.
The only change with the Tinder when you said fish pics, I seriously thought you said dick pics, and I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, what did she say? Like, I spent some time trying to figure it out, and then I was like,
Yeah.
what does that have to do with a dick pic?
Oh, and what if
So-
something about the inches, right? Because with fishing, you need to have a certain size that's legal. So, like fish pics, the difference between fish pics and dick pics is 3-incher is not acceptable for fish.
But it's not indicative of how big your penis is, because like there's a lot of small penis guys that can spend $400 on a rod and like catch a big fish. Like, don't get me wrong, you're not proving anything.
Yeah, honey, I can't. I'm not going to be able to provide for the family, but or wait, even though I'm not going to satisfy you, I can still catch a lot of fish.
Hope you're pescatarian.
yeah.
I feel like it's like something in there like what are we eating tonight? Fish, because I spent all the money on the rod to catch the fish. You said like,
Yeah. I bought a boat.
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's a teach a man to fish something somewhere in there.
Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he's got Tinder profiles for life.
Yep.
That is nice. Write that and keep it. That's a good one.
Not about like what about the there's the whole cliche about like it's not about the size, about the motion, but it's something about like I get it's not motion. What's the I get seasick if you rock the boat too much. Like
Yeah.
All right. I think we had some good stuff there. Thank you. All right. We're going to go down to Carol. I don't know if I did the big screen for Abby or not. I apologize if I didn't. Forgot.
Oh my gosh. Screen.
Carpet
Carpet? I don't have carpet.
treatment. I hope not. I don't either.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I love COVID-19, and I'm not talking about the virus. I'm talking about the quarantine weight gain. I'm actually really happy that people are gaining weight because I'm a huge fan of crash diets. There's a lot of different ways to lose weight quickly. You know, crash diets are like 500 calories a day, or all liquids like a Slim Fast diet, or like, you know, severing a limb. It is really hard to stick to most of these crash diets, though, and I'll say it's really easy to limit how many trips to the fridge you're going to make if you've only got one leg. Diets are most effective. I'm going to say, like, this type of diet is most effective after a disabling car accident. It's really hard to afford food when you don't have a job. So it's called an economic car crash diet. You know, I recommend an alternative strategy, which is one that I went through, which is if you get rear-ended by a community college dropout, it's where you get pounded really hard and not in the good way. Yeah, a few years ago, I was hit by a distracted driver. You know, she was texting and driving, or she told the cops she was reaching for her smoothie. Now, the smoothie defense is really, really hard to believe because she pulled out into traffic without looking, accelerated into the back of my car for 10 seconds until she smashed into me. 10 seconds to find a smoothie? I mean, cars these days have 3 cup holders per person within reach. Janet, it doesn't take that long to get your kale shake. I want to know, how big is your car? I mean, just like 10 seconds, like count it off here. Like, is it there? Is it over here? Is it down there? Is it, oh wait, is it back there? I mean, was she making the smoothie? 10 seconds. Look, I get it. Everyone texts and drives. But what was she doing? Was she typing out an entire paragraph when it would have sufficed to send a simple K? But not looking up for 10 seconds. Was she typing on a literal QWERTY keyboard? Like typing out the entire War and Peace on a literal typewriter? Oh, folks, this is idiots like this. This is why we have to make texting and driving illegal. Now, this college quitter thought it'd be better to blame a fake smoothie than to admit she was stalking her ex on Instagram. We can see her phone history, Janet. Now, this accident was completely crazy. I ended up with a really severe brain injury. She got a grand jury. I ended up starting a keto diet for this to help my brain. And I'll say I accidentally stumbled on how to lose 60 pounds in 6 months. Thank you, Janet, for this car crash diet. I do highly recommend it. I mean, you can do it too. It's really easy. First off, just find a teen that's texting. That's the easy part. Just DM me for details. We're just going to need to recruit 2 of your closest friends, and we'll get this thing going. If you're not familiar with what keto is, it means that I'm not going to eat until something was milked or murdered. We're almost as annoying as vegans, but the big difference is that we actually have the muscles to carry all of our Whole Foods bags to our car. You can eat all of the bacon burgers you want. Fuck you to clogged arteries. My top tip for going keto is to take kale and throw it in the garbage, because that shit's garbage. Now, I ended up starting keto again for my brain, and along the way, I lost the equivalent of a bag of concrete. Now, after that weight loss, though, I ended up sticking with it for the bros. Hey, how you doing? And I'm going to say right now, I'm not a cheap date, because I'm going to go for the steak, and mama needs them ketones. A lot of people want to know, like, oh my God, that accident you went through, like, what was that like? Well, I was stopped. She was going about 35 miles an hour, so it was like not good. Sort of like a little duck in the pond, just nibbling on bacon bits and minding my own birdie little business. And suddenly, out of nowhere, I was hit by a goddamn millennial in a car. So it was like I was struck by a millennial falcon.
Damn, Carol.
That's good.
Oh God. All right. Yeah, crash diets. If you're not familiar with that phrase, it's where you lose a lot really quickly. And in my case, in the blink of an eye, I lost 60 pounds. And in her case, she lost 100% of her parents' respect. Texting and driving is frowned upon. I mean, some say illegal even. I am okay with it in the end, though, because people learn some really hard lessons. For example, her parents learned the worst way to invest $100,000. Lawyers, court costs, and sending me for a week in Mexico. They got zero on that return on that investment. And after she ended up causing this, pulling out in traffic, her dad now wishes he had to pulled out. All right.
I like
Thank you much. That's a fresh bit I've been working on in quarantine. So.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and switch it back because that live sometimes blocks people's faces. So Doesn't matter why. Here we go. Carol, lots of good stuff there. I kind of think that like your strongest, like funniest material is like the diet stuff, like just the diet stuff. So if you put that up front and then, you know, so like this diet and that diet, and then kind of lead into it. And this is why I was on that diet. And then kind of go into the story, I think you'd have like a really good, like 20 minutes worth of stuff. So I think that can really be expanded out. So
It's been like I have jokes on all other kinds of stuff. It's like working in like my day job into my joke world is what this whole bit is trying to do. So
yeah.
Thank you.
One thing I caught was in the whole diet thing and like tying into COVID and how it's working, like saying that getting day drunk is a crash diet. Like if you crash and wake up later, does that make sense?
Yeah, I also really like the the crash diet tie-in thing, and I thought that's just a really good sort of. I thought it was funny. You were talking about the 10 seconds thing, and I think that there's a lot there that you could probably sit and build out on, because I was like, just your whole like, what is she doing for 10 seconds? And just like, you know, like her putting her smoothie in the child seat in the back instead of cup holders, stuff like that. Or like I even thought, I don't know how this would play on stage or something, but the idea of doing something that you can't do in a car, like her being like, oh, check the mirror, play with the thing, do whatever, go out, go off and like walk away from the mic or something. I don't know, but the 10-second thing is, you know, I like when you act out stuff.
I love that too. It's hard to act out like when you're sitting in front of like the virtual thing, right? So that's the thing I haven't had the opportunity is like play with a stage of like, what does that look like to pretend like she's doing this and like driving a car, but then she gets up and walks like the other side of the stage, right? Like,
you can really like establish the space for the car and then like have her just like, oh, look at that, flowers.
Yeah, and then get out, like walk. Yeah. Someday.
I think that's really good. I think that's really funny. I also think like, what kind of car was it that wouldn't have those like cup holders? You know, was it like an 85 Camaro? You know, what was she driving? You know, or I keep stuff in my cup holders. You know, so like, why would she have to go to a different cup holder? You know, because I'll have like a bunch of crap in mine. So maybe what was in those cup holders that would prevent it from being so close. So.
More phones,
yeah.
But yeah, something that's really good. That'd be really good to like talk about what's
just
in
for
them.
Fun, like Alicia, what do you have in your cup holders? Because that like people would know, like there's like 47 pennies in this cup holder. Like that's why there wasn't a smoothie in there. Like,
yeah, just something ridiculous. And that, you know, it was charging 6 different things. Like it was charging a tablet, it was charging something else. So of course my smoothie couldn't fit there, or that's where my cat hangs out. I just saw your cat.
I like the 47 pennies. Like even just like, you know, $18 in change, like just an important amount. I mean, 47 pennies is crazy. We don't even have pennies up here. Did you guys know that? We're cool.
Well, and then there's a whole coin shortage anyway, so we're not even supposed to have them. So that's even more controversial. The fact that she's hoarding coins, right?
She's for gold coins. They're doubloons.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really like the idea of things being in the cup holders, listing things. I can't think of anything funny, but like you could probably really think of stuff.
So she had to put the smoothie out back on her like mountain bike clip on whatever.
Put it at the T-top on her Camaro.
I think there was some opportunity. You said economic something diet.
The economic crash diet. Yeah.
Yeah. I also think if you just do economic diet, where you have no money, so therefore you eat no food. I think you said something around that, but I think just pointing that out, because I was on that and my diet was coffee and cigarettes. So, coffee and then just coffee, or so that was kind of my other note. Do you have any more notes, Ryan?
I mean, I like the second part. It just needs to be shortened up. Like, and of course, like you probably hear that all the time, but it's like it was good at the start and the finish, but then it was just like it got a little jumbled in the middle.
This might have been like the second or third time I've been able to do that whole set. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Stages again where I can actually really perform.
Naturally.
Yeah. I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah. Like I said, economize. I think it's good personally because I like the way it ended.
It's finding the right order of them too. Like, so I played around with like, where does all this fit in there too? So I don't have a strong closer on this one yet. So.
Yeah, I think there was just a little bit of repetition. So like Ryan said, I think it could just be tightened up.
Okay.
A little bit. So I think kind of getting rid of that will help.
Yeah. Okay. The 10-second thing. It was that what I was catching. Like I heard a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like the 10. Like I guess like describe it and then move on. Like more or less. Like because it was 10 seconds. Then all of a sudden like you're at 10 seconds again. Then 10 seconds again. So.
Yeah, you did the 10 seconds and then you kind of floated over to the diets and then you kind of came back to the 10 seconds. Mm. And so, yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, like, thank you. Because hearing it, I couldn't exactly point it out.
All right. I think that all sounds really good. I really liked it. I think there's some really strong stuff. So. All right, Ryan, are you ready?
Yeah. Oh, right. I don't get the screen.
Switch out of there. There you go.
All right. Here we wait. Okay. What's everybody been doing outside of getting fucking fat during COVID? Like, yeah, I've been. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I've been gaining weight myself, but I'm shallow. So all the weight I'm gaining, as long as it goes to the right places, I'm good. Like I had my girl tell me the other day, Ryan, looks like you gained about 10 pounds. Like, yeah, bitch, but I gained 7 of it in my ass, so I'm straight. And then also, I've been growing out this afro for COVID. And I tried to get it braided, but black man, as a black man, I got too fine of a grade of hair. So the only choices I have are a Frederick Douglass afro or Coolio braids. And I don't think that women are historically looking at any pictures like, oh, this guy with the distinguished fro, I like him. But this nigga with these fucked up braids could get all this pussy. Like, I don't see that really happening. So you just go ahead and keep the fro banging. I hope that gets me some hits. What else been going on during COVID? Oh, my dog started eating panties. Yes, you heard it right. My dog started eating panties. The only problem with that is this nigga ain't worth the panties that he's eating. Okay, so let me explain something. I'm a bougie bitch. You'll be hard pressed to find bougier bitch than Ryan Fennell. And all panties are bought on my budget. And I'm gonna tell you something. I like extravagant shit on panties. I like shit from the motherland. Do you hear me? Conflict materials, shit like diamonds. You hear me? I want some elephant tusk hanging off the thighs. I want lace made of vibranium from Wakanda. Good shit on the panties. So I can't fault my dog because I guess he's just like me, you know. He's loyal. He's a good color, and he clearly loves him some pussy. But I guess like thinking about it, you know, I'm wondering if that's his way of telling me that he'd be a better human than I am. Because I can't lie, like I like to intimidate my dog a little. You know, like when he's eating his food, I like to get down on my hands and knees with him, like, you know, push him to the side. Like I'd be a way better dog than you if I was a dog. So I wonder if him running around eating the panties is his way of telling me that if he was a human, he'd eat pussy better than I could. All right, that's it. I'm done. All right, that's it.
All right. It's trying to find the button there. I like the relationship with your dog. It's fine.
Thank you.
All right.
What about something about how that shows how scrappy your dog is? Like he's gonna go for every little morsel. Like you left this like one drop in the panties. Like how wasteful are you? I don't know, something there of like.
I get it. No, it's real.
Yeah, how much do you think there's so much to like waste that like you're not even like appreciating what's in these panties, man? Like,
yeah,
your dog is.
You left the good part.
yeah, right. Your dog is like, God, what a wasteful American you are. That your waste is like in the washing machine. Like there's some goodness left in here. Like.
I like that.
When you were talking about the I buy the premium shit. I was like, this isn't like Old Navy's get 9 pairs of panties for like $3 type of shit, right? Like, so you want to like that? Those are for snacking. This is the stuff she needs to wear. So.
Those are the milk bones of panties.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's really good.
This isn't a Hanes 6-pack, like,
Yeah.
or if you have that, like he avoids that, like the plague or whatever. It's like
We'll get you
the
some
only thing left.
Start.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. So like this only started once you started buying the bougie panties. Like before, like the Hanes, the dog was like, no.
Okay.
No.
So he's bougie like I am.
Yeah, the dog is just as bougie as you are. Like. And then the earlier part too, you're talking about your hair was too fine to get the right kind of braids. Like, I don't know what it is, but like you should make some kind of an analogy there about like my hair is so fine. It's like, I don't know what, like, you know.
Timothy Chalamet's pubic hair.
Say, who's that?
Timothy Chalamet. He's the twink. He's was in Call Me by Your Name. I see pictures of him all the time. He's like just a skinny white guy.
Okay. No, because I do. Yeah, you're right. I do need a visual there.
Yeah, and for some reason, I think
braids, like
Timothy Chalamet's pubic hair would be very fine. And
I'm taking the note. We're going with
I feel like
Justin Bieber's pubic hair or something like.
I'm thinking of like, cotton candy, just regular cotton. That's what I'm thinking, like, stuff like that.
Well, and if
Yeah,
you're gonna do
like
that with
braiding
your
my hair would be like braiding. So yeah,
What if you're gonna do the underwear and the hair thing in the same bit? Like it could be a callback of like in the beginning you talk about like, yeah, that's like the fabric that Hanes uses to weave their underwear, and then you could use it at the end with like
Oh, yeah.
Hanes 6-pack of.
I hear you. Yeah. No, I hear you.
Or you said it was like titanium or vibranium or whatever.
Vibranium Wakanda.
Yeah, it'd be like it's as fine as that, and then go to the underwear and then make that reference again.
Yeah, because vibranium in a woman's underwear, like that just like implies that like, oh, she loves wearing those underwear. Like the dog is showing you like, oh, it turns out the reason these panties are so juicy is because they're made of vibranium.
Wait, sorry. Where'd you start building it, Alicia?
So you were like, oh, my hair is so soft, and then
Yeah.
you compare it to, like vibranium from Wakanda, and then later the panties made of that is the callback.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
Does the structure of this like we get to fast forward like 3 months when we're all in like in someplace like performing this like all the advice we got on the workshop that we got to actually go like, oh my gosh, this is a killer set now. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying like, oh, Ryan, I want to hear this again, like in 3 months when it's all so
Right.
good.
No, honestly,
I feel like
I used my notes from the last workshop on this one. So, I mean, keep doing them.
I had one note from the last workshop on my tonight set. So yeah, you just keep building. That's why I like doing these.
Yeah,
It's
beneficial.
Mhm. I would like it if like we started doing live shows that were also streaming, and then you would charge maybe less for the streaming of watching the show, because people are doing like streaming shows. Mark Normand, he's doing streaming shows. I think he got tired of doing comedy to random people in Central Park. So, he's doing that. Maria Bamford, she's kind of doing like her own kind of thing. And so I think it would be nice if we kind of went to a place where it started to be both, and you could reach a larger audience and make even more money. So,
Well, if you had like a follow-up where it's like the next one is where you actually perform the stuff.
Like last comic standing.
Yeah, like I like the idea of following up. That'd be cute.
Yeah, I like that too.
I want to know where these vibranium panties are going to be sold is what I want to know.
Out of my apartment, I can't do that much.
You know what?
Oh my God, that's a secret. Like in your hot dog cart, you're like, would you like the vibranium special?
If they
Right.
could make vibranium panties, women would just use them for period panties because they
Just,
would laugh.
give me the V. Just give me the V rub. Just give me the V rub.
I was thinking it like these aren't knockoffs that you'd find in the back of somebody's trunk in the fashion district. These are the real deal.
White Joker's vibranium. This is the real.
Vibranium panties. Nobody's doing that. That's so good.
Right?
I used them a while ago too. I used that one a while ago.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. Well, very good, guys. If there's anything else anyone wants to add, maybe something coming up, a podcast. Yeah, Abby, do you have anything that you want us to follow or?
You can follow me on all the social media with Ouch Abby Stung Me, but that's about it. We don't have any shows going on here, and I've not been as active on the internet as I should be. But if I was, I would post about it.
Mm. Ouch, Abby
Prom-
stung me. All right, that sounds good. Carol, anything coming up? Anything you want us to follow you or?
God, I wish. Yeah, you can find me Keto Carol. Carol has an E on the end. The same spelling as Carol Baskin, by the way, everyone. Not that she gets recognized for the E on the end of hers too, but Keto Carol, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. I do actually do high level keto coaching, and I'm also starting to do some sales coaching in the meantime while I can't do comedy anywhere. So I'm like Casey's comment about Brian's beard is still stealing the show. So
Yeah.
That's what I say, man. Like once I'm in here, everybody's like, "Oh, Ryan looks like this." Ryan, like, I grew my hair. Damn it!
you look like every other male comedian that I've seen go through quarantine, COVID. Like I see him after I haven't seen him in a while. I'm like, yep, you look the part.
Yeah, I've considered shaving every day, and every day the ending answer is "fuck it." No, grow back. Fuck it.
Yeah, Ryan, is there anything you want us to follow you, Instagram or anything like that?
No.
At Vibranium Panties.
Yeah, right. I gotta create all my handles. They're popping up as we're talking. So I'm not. I'm a baby comedian, so I need to be more active and better at it.
All right. Well, maybe we can get you on Instagram, something like that. I am at Alicia Rain on Instagram. I am at Alicia Rain 2 on Twitter because I locked myself out of my account. It was fun. And then I have a podcast. It's called AZPL or A to Z Playlist, and that is on Spotify. And so that's just kind of a fun little, not serious podcast, just kind of fun. So anyway, guys, I think we had some great material was shared, and we're just when it reposts, all of the information that we just talked about, where to follow us, will be in the Facebook post as well. And so just look for that. And thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of your Saturday night.
All right, y'all too.
Bye. All right.